Boom. They had no clue you were this smart, until you suddenly proved it. You are exceptionally brilliant. Stories are spoken about you. Truly pay close attention for a moment, because what I am about to share is going to hit differently, and I need you to absorb it rather than skimming past like you usually do with everything else. Someone out there was forced to learn a harsh lesson. They misjudged you, not merely your intellect, but every element that defines who you are. All the hardships you have endured, all the skills you quietly mastered without making a scene. If they could have anticipated your thoughts before confronting you, most of them would have simply stayed away. But instead they assumed they were smarter than everyone else. They observed you remaining composed, looking collected, and appearing to have everything figured out. Something inside them reacted. How dare they? How dare they? So they attempted to demonstrate their superiority by targeting you and trying to gain control over you. And right now, in this very moment, they are sitting back and realizing you were sharp all along, while still failing to grasp how deep your abilities truly run. This is how it actually unfolds. An individual enters your space acting warm and friendly, using that initial window to analyze you. The funny part is that you are already analyzing them. You possess an ability to evaluate people before they even realize it, forming a full assessment of their character during the very first conversation without any effort. On top of that, you have a talent for recognizing patterns that continues to baffle them. They will act a certain way, and weeks or months later do something else, and you effortlessly link the two together. You take a subtle remark from months ago, alongside a strange expression from a few days back, and suddenly the entire situation becomes crystal clear before they even realize what they are doing. You anticipated their action before they even executed it. You have accumulated vast knowledge regarding manipulation, human behavior, and how individuals act when they assume no one is watching, simply because life forced you to learn it. You didn't acquire this from a book, but from living through it. Yet nobody ever truly attempts to understand the real you. They attach labels to you. They cast their own insecurities onto you. Meanwhile, you sit several moves ahead, remaining humble most of the time, and barely realizing just how perceptive you are. So this person received a front-row view of their own downfall the entire time. They believed they were fooling you. They thought you were gullible. They mocked you behind your back, telling others they are completely clueless. They believe this. They believe that. Yet every single word was completely false. Untruths built upon assumptions, piled on top of even more fabrications. The incredible thing is, the moment they began gossiping about you, you were already aware. You don't always understand how you grasp these things. At times, you are simply near someone. They speak a single phrase, and you instantly sense the underlying motive and think, yes, that is a threat. That is the exact quality that unsettlingly startles people about you. It makes them uneasy in your presence without understanding why. Because this individual sought to publicize your embarrassment, they ended up humiliating themselves instead. Now they sit there wondering, how do they know this? How did they figure that out? On certain days they will acknowledge how sharp you are. On other days their pride takes over, convincing them that you must have received outside assistance. They believe someone must have been feeding you details, and curiously enough, they aren't entirely wrong. You do receive assistance. Call it inner knowing, call it gut feeling, or call it whatever resonates with you, but it is real and has guided you your entire life. Sometimes it isn't direct knowledge. Sometimes it arrives in a dream. Sometimes an inner alarm flashes a warning. You sense something off about a person, and a week later, the truth comes to light. That isn't coincidence. That is an innate awareness most people never develop. People are finally realizing you are not someone to target. Now here is the essential point. There's a group of individuals right now, not boundary crossing, but deeply intrigued by you, who observe how you carry yourself through life's chaos, and they frequently bring you up in conversation. The descriptor that continually surfaces is intelligent, not merely book smart, but perceptive in a manner that unnerves those who cannot fathom it. By the time you finish reading this, you will understand precisely why they cannot stop discussing you, because it stems from two subtle habits so embedded in your nature that you don't even realize how uncommon they are. Envision a valuable artwork hidden in a forgotten attic. Most pass by seeing only faded colors and an aged canvas, assuming it is worthless. But an expert who understands true value steps in and immediately recognizes its depth, layers, and worth. And that reflects you. Your subtle quietness, the way you do not demand attention, moving through life without seeking external validation. None of that represents weakness. It is the hallmark of a mind functioning at a higher standard, which only observant individuals ever notice. Envision another setting, a gathering where your energy is felt and your name arises. Someone inquires, "Have you seen how they handle adversity?" Everyone agrees because they have been paying attention. They have witnessed you face genuine hardship, not minor inconveniences, but life-altering challenges. Yet instead of breaking down as most would, and that is stated without any judgment, because most certainly would, you chose a different path. You navigated through it, and that resilience is the primary reason this group is captivated. The second key factor is emotional intelligence. I am not referring to a superficial definition. I mean you truly comprehend emotions, your own and those around you. You assess an atmosphere immediately upon entering. You read a person's true nature within seconds. You evaluate your internal state far better than most ever learn to. You possess a level of maturity that can make less self-aware individuals feel transparent around you. You maintain composure even when everyone else is chaotic. You have a refined ability to discern what an emotion is attempting to reveal, rather than impulsively reacting to it. Beneath all of that, you possess deep empathy and care profoundly for others. Yes, and this group observes this and holds immense respect for it. Observant individuals are not drawn to noisy voices. They gravitate toward those who listen until the room settles into silence, which describes you. You may have felt out of place your entire life, but here is the reality. They are not ignoring you. They are taking in everything about you. They describe you as wise beyond your years. It is almost striking how deeply you perceive things, speaking from a place of depth that few ever access. Here is what truly impresses them. They watched you endure genuine adversity, including mistreatment from unkind people who tried to provoke you, diminish you, throw you off balance, and force you into messy reactions. Yet it completely failed. They attempted and failed, while this group watched the entire scenario unfold like a master class. While others played basic games, you operated on a far higher strategic level without even trying. Your emotional awareness allowed you to see right through their tactics, maintaining a clear view of the whole situation, even while standing in the center of the storm. Someone attempted to attack your self-worth and manipulate your mind into believing you were less than you are. Yet instead of shrinking, you maintained a firm grasp on your value. That is not luck. That is internal strength, built intentionally over time. This group noted that you refused to lower yourself to that level, avoiding bitterness and destruction even when anyone else would have considered payback entirely justified. Honestly, the hardships you faced would have broken many, driving them into a severe downward spiral. Instead, this group watched you step back and view your circumstances from a broader perspective, processing your emotions without allowing them to control your actions, remaining grounded enough to navigate through the storm. You project a distinct presence, a calm intensity that makes observant individuals very curious about your next step. That is rare, the kind of quality that causes a room to go quiet while people wonder, how are they accomplishing that? Your serenity is not accidental. It is deliberate, whether you realize it or not. There's also a sense that you underwent a total personal evolution, where a former version of yourself had to fade away, so a stronger, more authentic self could emerge. You navigated through adversity and emerged holding greater self-love rather than less, which completely defied expectations and likely disappointed those who wished for your failure. Here is the harsh reality few acknowledge. Some people do not hurt you by mistake. At times, individuals intentionally try to diminish you because your growth makes them uncomfortable. When that strategy completely fails and you emerge more grounded and vibrant than before, observant people find it remarkable. To be blunt, most cannot understand your depth because it forces them to confront their own flaws. What you do is not overthinking. To discerning eyes, it is advanced pattern recognition. Perhaps you have faced severe anxiety, true fear, and late-night moments of overwhelm where your mind raced, and maybe you are still processing some of that. Yet even amidst that, this group sees you relying on your instincts and seeking a higher view rather than letting fear consume you. They view you as courageous, someone confronting the unknown instead of fleeing from it. Some of you naturally act as healers without seeking to be, speaking about your journey in a way that helps others heal through your words, actions, and presence on their hardest days. You may already serve as a guide without needing a formal title. That is a major reason this group respects you so much. You transformed your pain into something meaningful, rather than carrying it as a burden alone. The second point truly confirms it. While emotional intelligence is powerful on its own, what really captivates this group is how you pair it with practical sense. You do not merely dwell in your feelings. You take deliberate action and make clear, rational decisions. That blend of deep intuition and solid practicality is rare. If you only possessed intuition, people might dismiss you, but you are grounded, taking what your gut tells you and building something tangible with it. That exact combination is why people recognize your true intelligence beyond mere sensitivity. Consider how much time you spend evaluating environments before entering, calculating what is safe to express or feel out loud. That requires genuine intellect, yet most people do it without realizing, whereas you are consciously aware. A part of you has continually managed the comfort of others while quietly putting your own desires aside. This group has observed that habit, and rather than judge at you, recognizes what it cost you and the incredible strength required to remain kind while carrying that weight. They have noticed your persistence as well, a truly remarkable determination. You faced people who repeatedly tried to break your spirit, provoke a reaction, and prove they held power over you. Yet you refused to yield. Every failed attempt only highlighted your solid foundation. If you were fragile, they would not have needed to try so many times. Their repeated efforts serve as proof of your strength. The fact that endless attempts failed is not a coincidence but evidence of your resilience. Somewhere along the line, a shift occurred where you stopped seeking stability from external sources and began constructing it within yourself. That internal shift turned you into a steady beacon in your own life. Naturally, people notice that light because becoming grounded and confident attracts individuals and circumstances aligned with your new state. It is simple cause and effect. What you cultivate internally inevitably manifests externally over time. There is also a clear reality that you are genuinely different from those around you, which for a long time may have felt like a burden rather than a gift. Perhaps you spent years hiding parts of yourself because being unique felt unsafe or risky. Maybe you require significant solitude, leading others to question why you need so much quiet space, as if wanting to exist without performing was somehow wrong. That pressure frequently comes from those close to you who misinterpret your need for space as rejection out of envy. Yet the truth remains. You need that solitude, just like you need air to breathe. We are born into a society